Hey all, I hope you're doing incredibly well. A week or so since my last video. Um, I thought I'd do a quick discussion about what I'm going to do next. Obviously, we've done a little bit of stuff on chisels, and I think I've done all I want to do on those for the moment. At the end of the day, bench chisel is a reasonably simple tool, and once you've chosen the one that suits you the best, you're just going to get using it and you know have a lot of fun with it, which is brilliant. Um, but I want to turn to another couple of things really. I'm keen to make sure that this channel doesn't end up to be an endless procession of short little videos on basic skills, which you can probably find pretty much anywhere on YouTube. I want to try and deal with a few more advanced things. That doesn't mean that I'm going to stop doing the short videos because I think they're still useful. Everyone's got a different approach, and yeah, I think there's one guy who left a comment on one of my videos. He was I think it was a video about preparing chisels, and in that one I'd discussed the fact that I'd used AutoSol, and I don't think that I'm the OG of using AutoSol with tools, but he decided to get some in, and he's really pleased with the results. So for the sake of doing that one video, you got a guy now, I think he was saying that from his perspective, his is quite similar to mine. He uses a diamond plate at 1,000 grit, goes straight to the auto sole on a bit of plywood. He's really, really happy with the results. No need for some intermediate stones. So it's an option, and for some people it might be like, well, I don't see any benefit. And this is the thing. I don't think you should be checking into this channel and thinking, here's this guru figure, which I'm not, and I need to follow paint by numbers what they're doing. It's like, well, okay, I'm maybe finding my approach a little bit troublesome. I wonder if I give that a go. And it's, oh, that works well. And do you know what? It didn't cost a great deal. It's actually cheaper what I'm doing. Then, that's maybe a good thing. So, on to the other things. So tomorrow, I'm going to get a video set up if I can. You can probably see in front of me here, I've got some boxes. And within that, I've got a load of trusty No.4s. And the reason I wanted to do that is that I think a No.4 is such a great plane to start with, for a huge amount of reasons. As a smoother, certainly you can't beat it, in my opinion. It's the way it's manufactured is wonderful. The way that the industrial revolution kind of shaped this. You've got all these individual components that would be made and then assembled production line style, and that really reduced the cost. I don't like phrases like de-skilling. I think it's a horrible phrase to use because you still need skill and quality control to maintain the right quality products. And I think you've only got to look at some of the rubbish that's available today to know that tools of this quality still needed the right attention to detail, but it did enable the mass manufacturing to be done more easily and quality to be maintained more easily. And that's not a bad thing. That gives you a tool at a more reasonable price. And also what's fantastic about this is that you've got adjustments as you go. You don't have to take your hand off of the tool once you're making little adjustments. That's fantastic. You've got a plain iron that's just thick enough, not a complete waste of material. You've got just enough there so it's quicker and easier to look after should you wish to grind and hone or do what you want. And just to get to grips with, it's great. So I think it's well worth celebrating that. And there's a lot of high quality No.4 planes out there that you can buy brand new. The Bedrock style seems to have got quite popular for whatever reason. I think probably because it was more of a collector's tool, and it was, if you're going to choose something that you can add a bit of zhuzh to, you're going to go for that. And it wasn't any longer in production, so it kind of creates as a bit of razzmatazz, I suppose. But these ones do a fantastic job. So I thought to myself, well, how am I going to take these? What do I need to do? So what it did show me was you do get caught up in that kind of nonsense you see online sometimes where it's like, hey, all I need is this plane I picked up from a car boot sale for 20 quid and I was doing everything brilliant. It's like, well, yeah, that's fair enough, but depending on what condition they come to you, you're probably still going to need to do something. And I kind of wanted to balance that up, because if you see anybody sorting out their brand new plane that they've bought from a quality supplier like your Veritases and your Lee Nielsen's and your Cliftons and whatnot, they still go through steps. It's not like they just take them out of the box and use them, and they shouldn't be. There's still stuff that needs to happen. So my view is, it's like, well, I've got these boxes of No.4s, and I'm going to stick them on eBay as soon as I've done them, because I don't need them. And it's like, well, okay, with simple stuff, how long is it going to take before I can take good, clean, finishing shavings and have a tool that I can use, and how much will that cost? Now, I'm going to discuss a little bit of what I had to do. Is that I had to buy some of these dreadful things, which is feeler gauges. You know, I'm not big into feeler gauges. It's not something that I really involve myself in too much. They can be fun to make demonstrations. Like here, you can see that I've told before about how a plain iron doesn't touch the whole body of the frog, and how it's nonsense that anybody needs to worry about that. See, it only touches the top. As you come down lower, it doesn't touch. Side topic. But I had to get something like a reference surface, and it's like, well, if I'm dealing with planes that cost 25 quid, why the hell am I going to buy a granite reference plate from an engineer's shop, which is going to cost a small fortune? So I thought, I'm going to need to be pragmatic. So I bought feeler gauges. It's cost me, I don't know, maybe 12 quid or so. And I took my square ruler off of my square, my Starrett one, so it's a pretty good quality one, and went into a tile shop and went onto tiles and checked them. And the ones that I found were most effective were not porcelain, where it's like there's like a coating over a tile, but something that's the same substrate all the way through. They seem to be the flattest. I won't look at that in more detail. But I then got a feeler gauge that matched the tolerances of modern planes. Then I've got a reference surface, got some abrasive, got my sharpening stone, I've got a file in the tool chest if I need it. And with that, I think we can weigh up and see what's going to happen. But it's surprising already. A roll of the abrasive that I like to use best, it's not cheap. I haven't checked the price, but it could be 40 quid. I think that's still money well spent, because if you're going to restore some tools, it's useful to have. Tile, I think, because it was a quite a high quality one, it looks like it's come out of some 1980s drug pusher's flat, but it was flat, and it was like, well, this will be useful for various other things. That was about 17 quid, feeler gauges 12. So all of a sudden, then the purchase price of this is like 20. You can see, you start the true story of how much it actually costs to get a vintage tool working. But the nice thing is, once you've got the tile, the abrasive, then when you come to pick up a No.5 or a No.5.5 or a No.4.5, No.3, your block planes, you've got a reference to use that on, you know, and that's quite helpful. So yeah, there's that. Next video, tuning up some No.4s. I'll stick them all on eBay, and I don't know what I'm going to call the video. Tempted to call it some like 4 No.4s. I think that sounds a bit crappy, so I might not do that. But yeah, they'll be done and out there soon. And back to the point about making sure this isn't just a channel of you know, people doing little bits on tools. I want to make sure that people can see some projects being made. You know, one of the things that interests me a lot, because I've always been keen on history, is actually making stuff and being interested in how they made things back in the day, and maybe adapting that for contemporary settings and using what's available. And one of the books that I really enjoy reading, and if you can either get them from a library or pick up one yourself, I think this one was from a library. I got it from eBay. I can't remember how much it was. I've had it for a while. It's the Pine Furniture of Early New England. Clearly I'm not American, so you know, I'm kind of nicking a bit of what they did over there. But at this time, you had lots of different cultures moving over to America, whether it was Dutch, Germans, British, whatever. And this book does a really great thing of highlighting all these different kind of, primitive is the wrong word. A lot of people use that term, primitive, but I think it's that thing of, it's like, well, how long are you going to take to make your stuff if you've just kind of got off of a boat and you've got a basic homestead? It's like you're going to want to get this stuff together pretty quick, and you're going to be influenced by the styles that you've probably left at home. You haven't got time to sit down in a roll neck black sweater musing on the infinite universe and come up with some new idea. You're just going to get down to it and use materials that are available locally to you. And I think for the new woodworker, it offers a lot of inspiration because you've got very simple pieces. You've got your classic 6-boarded chests, tables, all kinds of things. I think this book might have been like 20s or 30s. It was come out originally like a little stool like that. That's a great project to do. And what's even better is in the back there is a whole section where you get a whole bunch of measured drawings. You know, and if you've got a bit of competency, you can go ahead and make some, which is, you know, it's a nice thing to do. One of the things that I found in here, and it's a bit of an overused project, is the kind of 6-boarded chest. I think everybody's probably maybe sick about hearing about those kind of projects, to be honest, but the benefit for me is that I can pick a simple project for me to do and to kind of film and get better at doing some filming, because I'm only using a mobile phone in my garage, and hopefully get enough detail over that you can maybe think, well, okay, I don't need to copy exactly what he's done, but I get the idea, and that's how that works, because it's super simple. You know, you can choose to practice your dovetailing if you want to do that. You might think, you know what, I can just knock out some halving joints, some rebates and lap joints, and nail it together, and I've got something there to work with. And most of this is pine that I can buy from a local builders merchants, so it's quick and easy. I'm not having to think, well, I've got to find a specialist supplier. You can think, okay, it's Saturday morning, I'm going to head off down and I'm going to pick up what I need and just get on with it. So yeah, I'm not sure, it might be that while I'm making a couple of these, I might do a few vlogs to break it up, because I'd like to make sure I film all of it and then start releasing the videos as I go. And I'd like to do some drawings as well that you can have for nothing, and that's how I want to play things for a while. I think anything that I do which is simple and easy to do and would appeal to somebody who just wants to get going, I would like to do it just for free access. It feels a bit harsh, and anything in here I'll give a point to where I've taken my inspiration, and then I'll adapt it to the materials that I have at hand. You know, but yeah, it feels a bit harsh to be able to just, you know, want to take a load of cash for basic stuff. I think if I were to do something more complex, you know, I couldn't afford to do it, I might ask and say, is anyone interested, or do you want me to just keep doing basic stuff? Because a lot of people might say, well, actually, I'm just as happy seeing the basic stuff, and, you know, if you're happy with that, for the moment, I'm pretty happy with that. But yeah, this is a really fun little book. It's not heavy on text, it's heavy on visual inspiration. And there's that little 6-board chest that we were just looking at a moment ago. And yeah, so that's what I'm planning to do. Tomorrow we'll do the 4 No.4s, or I think thinking about it, what I'll do is I'll just see how well it goes, because the reality is I might pick up one of those. I can't imagine it, but it might be an absolute nightmare, and the whole video is just taking me trying to sort it out. But who knows, I might be able to go through all 6 planes in pretty good time. Who knows, we'll take a look and see what happens. And thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch up soon.